Don't you just hate it when you're right in the middle of making a video and all of a sudden your stupid camera dies because it's being stupid? That's exactly what happened to me about 2 minutes ago. I was filming this video and the camera died on me. So let's get right to the video. I'm doing the my first time tag, and no, it is not sexual. I thought it was the first time when I heard of it. And then I saw Zoella do it, and it was like a 4-minute long video, 10-minute long video, and I'm like, why would it be so much detail? So I clicked on it, and to my curiosity, answered it was just a first time video where, what was your first word, the first thing you rode a bike, or whatever. So I have my handy dandy little notebook here, and let's get to it. The light, I hope it is better, that you can actually see me this time instead of, because I have this other lamp right there, and it irritates me because it has like a cover on it, and it's very hard for me to make videos. But yeah, let's get right to it. So this is my first time tag, and I forgot how many times. Oh, my thighs hurt. I forgot. Lost count of how many I'm doing. So I'll count it after I'm done doing this video, and I'll put it in the title. So here we go. My first time. First friend. My first friend was, I think, in the first grade. Her name was Autumn, and she was an awesome girl. She was like a bad chick. Like, she was awesome. But sadly we don't talk anymore. But my real friend is Alicia, and she's been with me through 17 years of my life. I know I wasn't born when me and her met, but you know, I think I was born. I'm probably thinking of someone else, but oh crap. But yeah, but she's actually been through the times I've had, and it's almost been about maybe 10 years, or maybe longer than that, like 15 years, I think. My first celebrity crush. My first celebrity crush ever throughout my whole childhood had to be Greg Vaughn. Greg Vaughn he played Lucky Spencer in General Hospital. I haven't watched the show in a really long time, and I forgot what happened to Lucky. But I think the last time I saw him was when he was in a coma, and I got tired of it, because I know he survived, but I got tired of watching it, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to watch this anymore. And then I got my sister hooked on it, and yeah, you know it's pretty hard when you get your siblings hooked on a TV show. They do not stop watching it, and it's very annoying. First YouTuber. My very first YouTuber ever has to be Bash. I think I started watching him when I made my YouTube account. It was 2011 or 2012 when I first watched him. It was probably longer than that. It was probably 2010 or 9. I don't know, but he was my very first YouTuber. My first Viner. My first Viner has to be Marcus Johns. He is actually the most actually awesome Viners I've watched, besides Brittany Furlan and what's this guy's name? Bo Burnham. My first kiss. My first kiss happened when I was around 7 or 8, and it didn't count as a kiss, it just counted as like a peck or whatever. So I actually never really had my first kiss, to be honest. People think that I talked to about my boyfriend from a long time ago, Daniel, but ever since that happened, the incident that happened, I was never to keep contact with him, and we broke up. But I never actually had my real first kiss. Like, it was just like a peck on the lips by my friend's brother, because we were playing Truth or Dare, and he was hated him. My first boyfriend. My first actual boyfriend was this kid named Ryan. And he was like a year younger, I think, than me. I was like 9, he was like 8, I think. And we went out, what technically call it going out, because we went nowhere. I mean, we were kids. I go over to his house sometimes and play with Legos. Does that count as a date? First movie. My first ever movie had to be Darkness Falls, and main reason is because um, it was made in 2003, and that was made in 1997. So I was around maybe 6. I think that was my first ever horror movie. That because I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies, and then my sister convinced my mom for me to watch Darkness Falls. So I fell in love with the movie, and I still watch it whenever it's on. Too bad though, the main actor died, and I was very upset about that because I looked it up on Google and it never said anything about him dying. But my first TV show ever would have to be Dark Angel. I talked about the series in my previous top 12 favorite shows. But yeah, it was actually a pretty good TV show. I mean, I enjoyed it. My very first concert. My very first concert would have to be a Green Day concert from when I was about 3 to 4. We had free tickets to go because my mom went to school with one of the members, not like one of 3 members, but one of the members that were a part of it. And we got free tickets, and we got to go backstage and meet the band, and it's pretty cool. My first crush would actually have to be the boy I was dating for I think like a year, kind of. But yeah, he was actually my first crush. He's the one who asked me out after he found out I had a crush on him. He was a cute kid. I wonder what he looks like. I wonder how he's actually doing right now. Huh. Anyway, my first band. My first ever band listening to would have to be either Hanson or Backstreet Boys. I think Hanson came first. Did they? I don't know. Whoever came first was the band I actually listened to. I wasn't a girly girl. Like I didn't listen to like Elmo or Barney. I actually listened to my sister's playlist, which was Linkin Park, Green Day. I was actually particularly the only kid in school at around 6 or 7 that actually listened to punk rock bands, and it was actually pretty cool. And now some of my friends are listening to the bands that I've recommended them, so that's pretty cool. My first game. If they're talking about board game wise, I would have to say either Life or Sorry. If they're talking about a video game, then I have the original game somewhere, but this is the second game for the original game. I can't find, and I don't feel like getting up because I just did some exercise and my thighs are killing me. So I don't feel like getting up. So luckily this was near me, so I don't have to bend down and get it and hurt my thighs even more. But this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Chaos Bleeds, and is based on the television show. And I haven't played this game in like forever because I don't know. I have an Xbox 360 and I just don't bother playing my original Xbox anymore. My first word would probably have to be ashy, because I remember my sister changing me, I think, and I just called, because like she was like, after she done changing me, and she walked out of the room, and I'm like, Ashy, Ashy, and she was like, whoa, and all that. So my first pet was actually a cat. To be honest, I was around maybe 3 or 4. I know I was around like 5 when I got my official licensed pet, but this other pet, he was a stray cat, and we found it outside, and like we always tried to come at it, but it wouldn't let us go at it. So yeah, and so we named him. What do we name the cat? I forget what we named the cat. It was so long ago. I can't remember my childhood memories. So sad. But I remember having the cat and we feeding it every time it comes up to our window, like our front window. like here's the front door and the window. So every time we come out, that cat always scares the living daylights out of me. It was like nighttime, and I always hear like scratching up the window. I was like, oh, it's probably a treat. No, it's always a dang cat. Gosh. First teacher. I don't remember my kindergarten teacher because I never really went to kindergarten. Which kind of explains why my mom was so confused in what grade to put me in. Like, I'm 17 and I'm going in my junior year of high school. I'm supposed to be a senior. But other than that, then, but my first teacher was in first grade. Her name was Mrs. Rugger-Lusky. And that's her name, Rugga or Rugger. I don't know, but I was like her favorite student. Like, she bought me these dolls and everything. And like, it was awesome. Now here's one that I kind of put, I don't know if anybody else put in, but like it was like first enemy or first fight that I've had. That would be with this girl, I forgot her name, but she had this little sister that looked exactly like my sister when she was a little kid. It was creepy. But she was the jealous type, I guess. Like everything that I have, she would try to steal from me. So I had these 4 dolls that my teacher gave me, and I let her come over one time, and she demanded that I give her these dolls, and I'm like, no. I'm like, are you crazy? I'm like, no, I don't do that. And then she gets practically stolen from me, and then she came to school one day with them, and my teacher grabbed the dolls out of her hands and gave them back to me. So I actually had the clothes in my house. But yeah. But my first ever fight was when I had to beat the crap out of her that one time, because she was talking crap about my mom and everything, how poor we were. And then so I step up, and I was like around 8 or 9, and I punched her in the mouth. And then there's this other time where this girl named Amber, I would not forget that name. I would not forget that. Like, she had a face that you just want to punch. Like, oh gosh, she was that horrible. She was horrendous. She was like an evil person. Like, she was like the Satan's daughter. Like, literally the Satan's daughter. Like, every time I did my work, she would literally go underneath her desk and to see where I'm sitting. She'll punch the crap out of my knees, and she would actually kick my knees, and I come home with bruises. And I was supposed to tell my mom that I was playing games or whatever, and then finally I gave up, and I actually kicked her in the face. And yeah, my first tweet or Facebook post. Now, I don't remember my first Facebook post because that would take actually days for me to find it, because I've had my Facebook for like since 2011, I think, and I don't know my first Facebook page. But my first Twitter would have to be between I got my Twitter back or thanking Adam Levine for following me on Twitter. My first video. My first video is no longer up anymore because I had problems with my previous YouTube. But my first video was actually to speak out against bullying, and yeah, that's actually about it. I mean, there's actually nothing to it. My first fear would be heights. I am extremely afraid of heights. I used to be afraid of heights, but my sister, I overcame my fear with my sister, and she recommended me to go on the scariest roller coaster in order to overcome my fear of heights. So I went on the roller coaster, and best of luck, I actually am not afraid of heights anymore. But if you do put me on top of a, let's say, a building or something, I look down and I'm like, oh yeah, and I get kind of queasy. But like, other than that, does nothing. But she did take me to this one place. I forgot what it was in Vegas somewhere. It was like this little house of terror kind of thing, where you sit down at this movie thing, and like, I have one in in Utah somewhere. There's this place called Laser Mania, and it has this little movie thing that you pick the movie you want to see, and you put these glasses on, like these 3D glasses. You just sit down and you hold on tight, and so it moves your seat forward and back, and if bees sting you in the movie, it will sting the bottom of your butt, so it'd be like stinging your butt. But it was nothing like that. It was actually more scarier than that. It was where this person was like breaking out of jail, and it was like they're like running, and like your chair was actually moving. Like it had like these like little ramps that they go on, and it was like moving forward and then back and stuff, and it felt really cool. My first phone. I actually do not have a cell phone, surprisingly. I'm probably like the only kid in school that does not have a cell phone, and I'm actually pretty glad of that, because if I had a cell phone, then I wouldn't, and I'd be like, I can't live without this, so I'll like take it on my date or something like that, and I'm not gonna get a cell phone until I'm old enough to actually know how to use one, be mature about it. But yeah, but I actually do have a cell phone somewhere, and it was my sister's, and we're trying to get it fixed. It's one of those flippy phones. My first CD, my first ever owned CD was the Buffy the Vampire Slayer musical. It was when it did all these sort of songs and stuff. I love Buffy's song, Tara's song, Giles and Willow's song. No, not Willow. Tara and Willow's song. And I actually liked the whole entire band, but without Buffy in it. Buffy and Dawn were in it, but you know, Spike and Willow and Tara and Xander and who else was in it? Who was Xander's wife? Oh, that's gonna bother me. But anyway, that was my first ever CD. My first book. Oh, my first book would actually be the one I am actually currently reading. I found it on eBay. It's a supernatural book. Yeah, shocker, right? But it's a supernatural book, and it was the very first book that I've read when I was a kid, and it had very big words in it, and it was pretty hard, but I have it somewhere with me right now, but I think it's called like Willow's Creek or something, I don't know, but it's a very, very good book, and I haven't read it in like 10 years, and like I'm finally like reading it again. It's very exciting. My first candy. My first candy would be, you know, those little circle target ones that look like a gold coin, and like, but it was like a wrapper. I would like unwrap those. I would buy it with those little gold coins that my mother gave to me. It would like little dollar coins that like they're gold, but like they're count as a dollar bill or something, but you know, coin form. So I always like pop it in there in the machine, and they have like a little bag of it that comes out, and I would eat them. It was pretty good. Okay, that is all the questions I answered. I would count it and put it in the title called my first time tag, and I put how many questions, like 20 questions or 25 questions. But this was actually pretty fun. I did this in my previous YouTube, and then I decided to do it again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll probably upload this tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean, see, it's 12:31 a.m. at the moment, and so if I upload this, then that would mean it would be tomorrow. So hope you guys have a wonderful night and wonderful day. I would like to give a shout out to Robin, who is an awesome person. I'll put his channel up bottom of the description. You guys can check him out. He is very awesome. He has a Swedish accent, and I think you guys will enjoy that, because I like his accent. And my friend Cora, who I haven't spoken to in like forever. My friend Alicia, who is actually my sister, not really my sister, but my sister. And Zoe and Brittany, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And yeah, I will get back to you guys later.